From the EFRA large-scale off-road Euros. I'm Nick Damon. Beside me is Zach Fenning. On the camera it is Frank McKinney. We are RC Racing TV and we're brought to you courtesy of EFRA, HBI Racing, Samba and Graphel Body. It's Tim van der Elst from Jerome Sartell, from Nick Visser, from Michael Kinnemans, Judith Gandino, Patrick Schweiner, Dirk Kellerman, Valentin Poziet, Dario Vaselli and Max Massar is your grid for the four-wheel drive off-road large-scale Euros. Slightly longer hold. So a second start there, just a little bit longer. And they're all away and it's clean up the straight. We have seen some quite clean starts, I'm honest, over the first. And again, so far, it's a good start for van der Elst, just ahead of Sartell. But rolling out goes Visser. So our third place man is the big loser and will pick up in last. Persiat already made up a couple of positions, I think. But van der Elst pulling away, and a beautiful little block pass there from the yellow Ultron, number 4 of Dirk Kellerman, so Michael Kinnemans. So Michael Kinnemans, who followed Tim van der Elst round in the first of the semi-finals, is now following round in the main final. So it's Ultron, from Elcon, from Losey, and then I think a gaggle of MCDs. Now, interestingly, into 5th already is Poziat. So Poziat's got through to 5th as they streak round the corner, but an early break from van der Elst. Kinneman's behind him. And let's move to that battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th, which is Patrick Schweinzer, Jerome Sartell and Valentin Poziat. Schweinzer in the yellow and orange turn round. And Poziat gets through into 3rd, so already the lap, the pre-event favourite, has come from his lowly start. He's up to 3rd from 8th. Sartell, and interestingly, Vaselli's following him round. So it's van der Elst, Kinnemans, Poziat, Sartell and Vaselli. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, terrible mistake for Poziat. He's just got a loop on himself. Don't know what happened there. He got a strange side drive and didn't get anywhere. So 1, 2 and 3. So Poziat's dropped back a couple of positions. It's not the end of the world. And let's have a look at Sartell now. He's beginning to move forward to Kinnemans. But Vaselli's there. And van der Elst, who is the master of going as fast as you need and no faster, is leading. And it's now the battle between Vaselli and Sartell. Vaselli from France, Vaselli from Croatia, Sartell from France. And Vaselli's through. The 2012 champion gets into a podium, and then just drifts it out wide, but he's got the inside line again on these 4 corner passes. And Sartell's right behind him in the Losey, but the MCD of the Croatian ex-European champion manages to hold him on as they sweep round the top corner, and that's a 3rd place claimed for Vaselli. Can he carry on moving forward? He has a little bit of way to make Kinnemans, and then not that much further to get to van der Elst, but a long way to go. Poziat now is in 5th. He's just behind Sartell. Made a very odd mistake about a lap ago. First 2.5 minutes are down. Van der Elst not pulling away, but not being troubled either. Kinnemans as well, not pulling away, not being troubled. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The one person who's really, again, looking all energy and all action, but not necessarily all motion in the right direction, is Valentin Poziet. Patrick Schwein's been a big loser from an early accident. And I think now it's a 5 car had a problem as well, which is the Gandino car. So a bit closer. Van der Elst has lost a little bit of his lead there over that first corner. So the green and white Van der Elst, he's just slightly ahead now of Kinnemans in 2nd. And then you've also got Vaselli. So 1, 2 and 3 pretty much contained. And I expect to see, I'm not really sure whether Kinnemans is actually playing rear gunner for van der Elst. But Vaselli now has Poziat behind him. And Vaselli gets through to 2nd. And Kinnemans stops, he loses 3rd as well. So both Vaselli and Poziat got a free pass there on Kinnemans. So now it's leading is van der Elst. 2nd is Dario Vaselli. The big Croatian, very popular man in the pits. Great fun. Does large scale on road and was in the final in Bologna of the touring cars last week, and this week he's in the final here and fighting for the win because he's now the car that is closest to van der Elst. He just scraped into the final. A terrible semi-final. We start by having an accident about lap 2. Now can he drop? That all right. Got out of that hole. Literally got out of the hole. And van der Elst and Vaselli nailed it. Oh, very wide there. Vaselli probably got off. Didn't get the front grip. And they go around a lap of 40.5 and 40.6, 40.7. So the top three, and the dust is absolutely amazing because you've got four-wheel drive cars. They're all still running and the wind has dropped entirely. So it's dust everywhere. Vesely now looking all over the back of Van der Elst. He's coming up into the first 5 minutes. So looking to the outside now. They hop over the double. They'll go to the no-name double now and up the cliff face into the HBI hairpin. And Van der Elst makes a small mistake, but still the car was physically in the way of Vesely getting past. Vesely was pushing him through the gravel grid, little side two-wheel mount. And Van der Elst under serious pressure from Vesely. And Persiat beginning to look to try and bridge that gap as he's now in third. Sartell has dropped to fifth, and Kinneman's in fourth. But the battle is all about first and second here as they go into the Samba S's. So the cars are as close as they can be. They're trying to. Now the thing is, Vesely deliberately went wide there to get a run to try and get some speed down the outside of Van der Elst. Van der Elst, and this is going to give Persiat a great chance to take the lead. And Persiat goes into second, or is he going to get the lead? Second, no, 1, 2 and 3 all together now. Starting with Vesely looking for a way past him, and then he didn't quite get it, and he just held up Van der Elst, and they both stopped long enough for Persiat now to be the focus here as he have a go now. Can he get past the Ultron of Tim Van der Elst? Oh, Van der Elst, and Posia's upside down. A massive mistake from all this. It comes through, and the winner is Vesely. He's rolled through, and let's see that again. So it looked all fine. Van der Elst comes round the top corner. No indication there's going to be a problem. Decides to double it. Oh, lands right on top and skids through. But what happens is that Posiat, I think, changed mid-air, got confused and stopped and fell off. So your new leader is going to be Dario Vesely in second place. Nick Visser, third place. Jerome Sartell. Persiat well down now. Van der Elst in fourth, I think. I'm not quite sure where he's come through yet. Van der Elst in fourth and Persiat in sixth. So a double fall there. It's Vesely take the lead, but Visser now is after Vesely. Don't forget, Visser won a round in qualifying. Vesely certainly didn't. So our focus needs to be Visser in second place for a while. See how he can do. Sartell will be hoping to be dragged through as well. So another Ultron. You've disposed of two Ultrons and the third Ultron turns up. It does sound like an episode of Star Trek, doesn't it? So Vesely with the MCD, and he just went wide there. He's going to lose a little bit of time to Visser. And that lap round, Visser had a 1 second gain on Vesely. So suddenly, Visser comes into play after he was the man who lost out at the start when he rolled on the first corner and ended up last. Now he's second, as everyone else had their share. And then the mistake by Vesely, and Visser goes into the lead. And more importantly, Visser goes into the lead, but Sartell goes into second, Tim Van der Elst into third, and another problem for Vesely. And Vesely had a terrible half lap and drops to about seventh. Okay, so it's Visser in the lead. He needs to drop back to second place, Frank, and that is Sartell, who's going to try and fight off Van der Elst. More problem for Posiat there. And we are just 8 minutes of the 30 down. Has Sartell, with a brand new Losi chassis, got the experience, not of RC racing, he's one of probably the most experienced racer here with his years of 1/8, but the experience of 1/5 racing to be able to get back and catch Visser? And is Van der Elst actually going to play a team game with his fellow Dutchman and the developer of the chassis he's driving and not really trying to get through? But no, Van der Elst gets up the inside and they touch, they move, but the net result is that Sartell gets through, or stays where he was, should I say, rather than getting through. There's another battle behind them between Kinnemans and Vesely. It's only one bad half lap and he's way off the lead. Visser just beginning to stretch it slightly. There's a long way to go. We're not even a third of the way through. And what's already been a race that's 9 times more eventful than the two-wheel drive. So we are looking at the second and third. They are nailed together. Jerome Sartell of France, Tim Van der Elst, the Belgian who races under a Dutch flag, or Dutch licence. Oh, Van der Elst, look, up the inside. He needs to kind of check. Oh, beautiful pass. He needed to check past him, didn't do it. Sartell was clever enough not to worry about that one. Now the question is, how much of a desire does Van der Els have to win this, and how much a desire does he just have for his chassis to do it? We've seen it before with one of the Elcon twins, with Ken Valakers. They would play as a team. Are Visser and Van der Els playing as a team? Who knows? But we still have 20 minutes to find out. Now, they both gained on Visser in this lap, so Van der Els has massively bridged the gap, and he's pulled Sartell with him. Kellerman has made a mistake, and I think that's Percy going for. Oh, Van der Els has gone! Van der Els has gone! Oh, no! The first failure of the final. It's the man who was in second. Van der Els retires. And he won't be back in. Let's pick up the leader on the main straight now, Frank, and that is Visser, who's been chased down by Jerome Sartell. And that's worked well for Visser's chances of winning the European Championship. It's one less Ultron for his manufacturing company to win the championship itself. And I would like to point out that Pousiat is coming, as is Visselli. They're both now in third and fourth, having got past Kellerman's. Now Visser is bouncing all over the shop, but he needs to try and keep himself away from Sartell. Sartell gets on the inside, and Sartell gets Visser. Visser's car suddenly looked awkward, and now we have the only tail problems, and I think that Visser's gone. I think Visser's car is broken. Sartell has an accident, and we are... we've lost Visser! We've lost Visser, and Persiat's in the lead. In half a lap, the whole world has changed this final. Our leader went. Sartell had a mistake, and suddenly the early race favourite, Persiat, finds himself in the lead as Visser is the second Ultron to go out in literally half a lap, or a lap and a half. And now Persiat leads. Second, it's Sartell. Third is Visselli. And it's the old hands and the new boy, but suddenly the new car has shown its ferocity. One of it was mechanical, one of it was an engine by the looks of the way they stopped. But the fact is they've now down to one bullet in the gun of the Ultron, and that's fourth place Michael Kinnemans. But Pousiat is where we thought he would always be in the lead, but by no means secure there, because he has to fight every lap, as Sartell must think a potential European Championship is there. Visselli knows it is, and Pousiat knows it. And I don't actually know if Sartell's ever won a European Championship. I can't remember if he won it in 1/8. Please tell me if you know. But this could be Sartell's first European Championship. But we still have 18 minutes to find out what the heck's going to go on as three cars sweep round the top section together, as close as you want to be in a truly epic start, or first, third and a bit, of this four-wheel drive large-scale off-road final. So Persiat leading from his fellow Frenchmen as they come down towards us. Got MCD first, MCD third, Losey second. And Pousiat goes wide, that's going to get Sartell in for the lead, is it? So he doesn't want to do it, but he's got it, and Sartell gets in. No, Visselli gets through as well, so first and third there. So one overshoot on the corner, and he's gone. And suddenly now we're going 1, 2, 3, it's changed right round, and it's Sartell who leads from Visselli, who's very racy, from Pousiat, who's permanently racy. And as Visselli looks to go round the outside, oh, that's a brilliant overtake right round the outside of the lower part of the S's, and Sartell comes out worst of that one. He gets turned. Kellerman's is still there waiting, but now Visselli is away. Can he stay ahead? Can the Croatian claim his second European title? Well, not like that, he's not going to. He crawls out of the hole, minorly ahead of his chassis teammate Pousiat. That helps the 1, 2, 3, 4 close up even more. But it is Visselli who leads from Pousiat, from Sartell, from Kellerman's. And we aren't even halfway yet. So it's 9 from 8. Visselli in the blue and orange car, in the kind of multiple coloured car, which kind of loses its colour actually at distance because of the dust. That is Pousiat. He's got a yellow base to it, red. Basically, he used every single spray can he could find in that car. Has a lot of colours in it. And Pousiat is then ahead of Sartell. Sartell is slightly dropped, as is Killerman at the moment, but that's the ebb and flow. Fastest round that time was Pousiat. Gained 4/10 on Visselli. Sartell lost a second on both of them, but Pousiat gets a bad bounce, and that's worth a second on its own. Visselli now needs to avoid the mistake he made in exactly that corner where he nearly made it again. I think a lot of the problem is braking. These guys are getting a lot of power, and when they come to brake, the front wheels aren't always on the ground. The cars don't stop as Visselli falls off the track and loses the lead. And, Pousiat falls upside down and gets the lead back again. So he was not in the lead there for about 8 yards, meters. But the net effect, his lead goes up. Sartell moves, I think, into second there, and Posiat to third. So Sartell gets second. Posiat has a bad lap, 47 to a 43, drops back to third again. Vaselli, as we are still not halfway, still faces a double threat. Kinnemans has also dropped. Oh, Vaselli makes a mistake and he loses the lead. It's Sartell back and they're back, 1, 2, 3 together. Vaselli just clips it and suddenly Sartell is there. So Sartell leads now. Vaselli second. That's the white and pink car. The Frenchman, the Losi Sartell. The Croatian in the orange and blue car. Vaselli with the MCD second. And the multiple coloured car, the Frenchman with the MCD, is Posiat. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 over the jump. All together. Oh, that's very close there. Vaselli at the top end of the track. It's all over the back of Sartell. He wasn't particularly far. Oh, Vaselli. Oh, no, he's got away with it. He's got away with it. He's just he rode round. He got away with it. Posiat's now going to wait to get through again. That's a kind of an interesting sort of thing. We've got that one again or not? So, as they come down, it's Vaselli again who's leading this after what I would describe as the incredibly topsy-turvy few laps. Posiat's back in third. Vaselli gets away with hopping over the corners, as you do. He's got a bit wide that time. Underneath me, nose to tail, go the two Frenchmen, Sartell and Posiat. Sartell is probably, I think, Posiat looking to position himself to get underneath him. Just couldn't get the line through the top corner. A little bit, and he's now got the run. He's got the run and he can brake and turn inside. And Sartell tries to block him out, but Posiat basically said, no, you're not doing that, matey boy. And just kept the line, kept his footing, as you'd say. And now Posiat is second. And he needs to try and find if he can gain on Vaselli. Vaselli quite wild down this section here, which now Posiat's on. As Posiat goes over the no-name double. Sartell's lost a lot of time and been temporarily knocked off his pace. Vaselli Posiat back into second. The gap, though, is 2.6 seconds that Posiat has to make up, and he's dropped Sartell by about 5 seconds. So, bad lap for Sartell, but, you know, there's no guarantee to be good luck to everyone else. Michael Kellermans has gone now, so the 3 cars that have retired are the 3 Ultrons. Kinnemans, Visser and Van der Els have all retired, so there will be no big win for the Ultrons. We haven't really looked at 4th place. It's Gandino's in 4th. Not that far behind, actually, anymore, in the 5 car. So, Vaselli comes round, and that lap through was a 40.6 against a 40.1, so Posiat put a half a second out of him. There's a car going very slowly to get lapped underneath. Good driving, heads up, nice move. 3rd and 4th are quite close together now. Sartell's been dropped dramatically, but 3rd and 4th are quite close together. That's our 1st and 2nd, and obviously in the final, 1st. Oh, and he's made a mistake. Vaselli made a mistake, and now they're right back together again. He came in, looked quite innocuous. There's no reason for this. What's happened? I think he's he's put it a bit flamboyantly and then fallen in the hole. Yeah, he fell in the hole and then just hit the edge of the hole, and that was it. So they're right together now. Vaselli and Posiat are right together. Unfortunately, behind us, Sartell's just lost 3rd off camera to the 5 of Gandino. But 1st and 2nd's where it's at, because they're right together with 18 minutes, virtually 18 minutes gone and just about 12 minutes to go. So Vaselli from Posiat, probably 2 names you stuck at the top of the hat when you saw the entry list at the beginning of the weekend, but it's not been anything like easy for either of them. Both of them only really kind of scraped into the final after dramatic loss of performance in the second half of the race. Well, they're about to go into unknown territory, because the last 10 minutes they've not run before. I'm sure they've learned from the 20-minute semi-final and start thinking about tyre wear and everything else. Good lap for Vaselli. He's put a little bit of a gap on Posiat there, who comes around underneath us. Posiat 42.7, yeah, 2.5 second gain there for Vaselli. So in a quieter period now. Let's move forward to our leader. That's where we're at. So Vaselli now has a bit of lapping to do. Has to lap the number 10 car of Maxwell Sauer. I think just pleased to be here would be Maxwell's statement. And he moves out the way quite easily. Does he? Yeah. He's been told to get out of the way, and he moves out the way quite easily. Almost gets a side swipe. Posiat in that last lap lost another half second, so he's dropping back off Vesely at the moment. The challenge of Sartell seems to have faded for a while. With another poor lap. So we're looking now at a period of after 2/3 of the race where we finally have an established leader, and that established leader is Dario Vesely of Croatia. The chaser, who's been behind for several laps, for the first time anyone's been ahead for a while, is the 8 Valentin Perziot. So Dario goes around this one, 41.2, 41 flat for Perziot, so 41.4 actually, sorry, updated. So still dropping him slightly. But you kind of feel, even with the lead, which is currently up to 3 seconds, that's less than one accident. And we hit the last third of the race, and we're now looking for the tactics to come. We've lost 3 cars. So I think Kinnemans is back out again. Yeah, Kinnemans has gone back out. And certainly in this last lap, I would say visually, there's been a gain for Perziot in this last lap as he's got round. He spins through. And the time was a 41. Yeah, he gained about a second in that last lap. So Perziot now has dropped that lead to just 2.3 seconds is the difference between the two of them. And Perziot suddenly seems to have found a bit of a second wind. I don't know whether he's decided, well, there's no point in me doing this. I'm either going to win it or I'm going to go home. But he's absolutely creaming after Vesely. Or perhaps Vesely's wound back too much because now that 2 second lead looks a bit less again. So the car ahead of them has got a real exhaust problem underneath. You can hear it. So that lap goes through. Vesely 41.2, Perziot 40.6, and it comes down to less than 2 seconds the lead. There's no DRS. There's no point getting within 1 second of each other. But there is the point that now Vesely is going to begin to feel that subconscious pressure of seeing Perziot, the fastest person around the track. Perziot's fastest lap is a 38.6, which is 1.4 seconds. Oh, and Vesely's turned around, the lead's gone, and Perziot takes the lead. So, Valentin now is in the lead. Vesely drops a second, but again, I'm just wondering whether it's easier to follow than to lead, because Vesely now is going to have to get back on it, drop to second as he has. Perziot leads this one, he comes around, his lead's going to be about a second and a half, I would think. It's exactly second and a half. Well, I'm very good, aren't I? So, can he carry on pushing it out? Vesely, as Perziot makes 2 minor mistakes on the wall there, and Vesely makes 1, and into the most tricky section to get right or even get consistent. Vesely fishtailing the car out, and there's Perziot just ahead of him as we enter the last 8 minutes of this race. Oh, and they're nailed together again. Been running this for 22 minutes, and we need 23 minutes. They're just nailed together. So Perziot, who now he stopped chasing, has to defend. He just loses all his flair. He has to defend, and the second as well. He needs to just go out and carry on pushing. But I think, psychologically it's very hard to do. So they're right together at the top of the corner. Perziot and Vesely, both European champions at large scale over the last few years. Oh, Vesely inside, last one in 2012. I think Perziot went in, oh, he's out again. He's in and he's out. And he's lost the lead. In, out, lost the lead. So it's now back to a lead for Martin? For, because he's got Martin Bayer's colour scheme on. Oh, and he's gone over, and this is a massive disadvantage. Suddenly, Dario Vesely has got a big advantage because Perziot was leading Vesely. Sorry, Vesely just got ahead again for a second. Look at Perziot trying to jump it and just went short and fell over. So now he's got to do all that work again, and he's only got 6 minutes, 30 seconds to do it. Now, if I was Dario Vesely and I was his coach, which I'm not allowed to be for a number of reasons, I would be telling him, Dario, you need to push now. Don't ease back. Because if you ease back, you ain't going to get anywhere. So Perziot now needs to throw caution to the wind because he's got 6 minutes and 21 seconds to try and get back to Vesely, who he was 4.8 seconds behind of at the end of the last lap. I don't think he's got any closer this lap, if I'm honest. Is Vesely going to win an unexpected second European Championship? The lead now is up to 5.4 seconds. So Perziot really needs to get his brain in gear and get that hyper speed we've seen from him, coupled with not actually crashing as he goes past Patrick Schweitzer, who I think got back going again, like a number of drivers decided to come back out again towards the end just to make things complicated for us. Vesely is pushing hard. Just checking we've still got everyone else. Sartell's still running in third, or he is running in third. Kellerman's gone back out again at the number head, but Sartell's in third, but he's best part 3/4 of a lap down. Last lap round, Vesely is doing what I suggested and pushing, because backing off is a recipe for disaster. With 5 minutes, so 25 down, 5 to go, the gap is about 5.5 seconds. Valentin Persiot, if he wants to win the European Championship in his own backyard, is going to need to drive some pretty impressive laps, but more importantly, keep the car facing the right direction with all 4 wheels down for as much of the time as possible. And under he goes now, and that was a gain of 0.7, but the gap is 5.1. So Persiat has 4.5 minutes, which is really about 6 laps, to get back 5 seconds. Now, normally you'd bet on Vesely being able to not to do that, but he's twice had problems in the lead. There's a car drunk in front of him as he gets past. Persiat not looking to gain much this time either. It was quite nice he turned into the no-name double, but then he just overcooked it, and that's about a second he just wasted there going long on the HPI hairpin. Under he comes beneath our position. And that time round he lost a second, so it's looking particularly good for Vesely, as long as he doesn't make a mistake, and that's a big as long as. Seems to have found that end of race pace that is eluding Persiat. In third place it's Jerome Sartell, who's the best part of a lap down. In fourth place it's Giuseppe Gandino, who's also a long way behind him. And then we have Maxwell Sauer, the last person to actually run the entire time, and then a few guys who've come back out again after suffering previous problems. Now, I will say is that I think that Valentin's has made a reasonable gain this time, or perhaps not. I think it was a foreshortening effect of the part of the track there on there. So whilst I think he may have gained a little bit, for say yes, indeed, did the 44-second lap and the 42, 1.1 second gain for Valentin. With 3 minutes 12 to go, the distance is just over 5.4 seconds, and it's getting to the point now where it's going to be a mistake from. Oh, and Valentin made a massive error, and that's probably the European Championship gone in that one move. He just drove on, came down the corner here, and rather than turning into the Samba S's, it just kept going. I think he just couldn't get the thing to brake. So it's looking good. So let's move to Dario Vesely, who's underneath you now. And Vesely is beginning the last 2.5 minutes of the race, and he's beginning it with a lead that's monstrous. And after 23 minutes of close battle, he's just managed to win the last 6 or 7 minutes, and that's why he is where he is. Persiat in second, now is 13 seconds back. So Vesely over the no-name double. Can't remember seeing a European Championship one from position 9 before, out of 10. Sure it has happened, but not in one I've been to. But much is the nature of this track, which is just so blown out that Vesely made a mistake in the semi-final. On the second lap, ended up last, and it was just really hard to push the car to catch back up again. And as soon as you start pushing, things start going wrong. 1.5 minutes to go for Dario Vesely for his second European Championship. Running about that time round, Vesely eased it back to a 42.7. Persiot, long way behind. I think the problem Persiot's got, I don't think he's going to make. I think he may even miss out on the lap that Vesely's going to get. So he may only have one. No, he's got 2 laps to catch him up, but I think Persiot has wound it back and gone, I'm second. That's all I can do. Lost 2 more seconds. So, yep, These are going to be victory laps for Dario Vaselli, barring disasters, and we have seen disasters for Vaselli whilst leading before in European large-scale finals. He had wheels come off whilst winning, he had a wheel delaminate. This time all 4 wheels are on his wagon. It's his MCD wagon. It looks like the Croatian is going to claim another European Championship. And he's about to begin his last lap. And it's questionable if Poziak will even make this lap. I think he will just. So Vaselli does have to finish this lap to win. And he needs to avoid men who are crashed in front of him. And he, four-wheel braking, not bothered, because he knows now he just needs to follow anybody home. And he has enough lead to win this one. Yep, Poziak also gets the last lap. So Vaselli needs to avoid the rather drunken antics of the car in front of him, which must be the absolute nightmare. I just don't want to go anywhere near this car. It's all over the shop. It's the all over the shop car 5 of Gandino, but Vaselli just needs to go around 4 more corners and he's going to become European champion for the second time, and a well-deserved and a great race, a fantastic race for the four-wheel drive European champion in large scale. It's Dario Vaselli, and fantastically well-deserved. What a great